Welcome to Nayahso. We are really pleased to have you join us, and today we're going to talk about Coltan. Coltan. This is one of those elements, minerals found in Africa that are phenomenally valuable throughout the whole electronics technology landscape. So on this platform, we try to promote everything that you can find on the continent that can be useful, and how we can take those things and make something out of them that would benefit the whole continent, the diaspora, the world. Importantly, that the benefits primarily goes back to the people who created it, so that they can actually get the rewards of their ingenuity, their hard work, their diligence, and just develop the beautiful continent that we have. Coltan, C-O-L-T-A-N. So its full name is columbite tantalite, and they abbreviate it to Coltan. It is found mostly in the largest quantities in Congo, Eastern Congo. It's also found in some other quantities, smaller quantities in Brazil, in Canada, and Australia, but the largest deposits in the world is in Africa, in Congo. The blessings are just pouring out or being dug out of the ground. So why is Coltan so useful? Coltan is mined, and I've seen some videos, and I'll try and put some links below, of people who've done documentary of the mining. It's in mud, it's in a hillside, and it's largely very basic mining where people go, individuals go and mine. And the people generally who mine, which is so heartbreaking, but that will change. Those things are changing. They don't benefit as much. So for a day's work, they may get maybe $10, but these elements, this coltan that they mine, could sell for as much as $400 plus. So the people mining it, again, don't get the benefit, and the resource is taken out of the continent to other places where it is then developed for its ultimate uses. It's really important because I have an interview with one of our own African inventors, and he mentioned that the electronic components like the capacitor and things that he needs, he has to buy from overseas. And I was asking, why don't we make these things on the continent? And I stumbled across Coltan, which is actually one of those materials where when you hit it, it becomes a heat-resistant powder, and it's used in capacitors. So capacitor is one of those tiny electronic components that regulates the flow of electricity, and and it can store a charge as well. This is memory going back a long way, so I'm sure all those electronic experts out there know a lot more than me, and you can Google and research how a capacitor works, etc. But it has a capacitance, and it's used to make capacitors. The reason why it's so valuable so if you have a handheld, like a mobile phone, a laptop, a tablet, any of those devices that need some small components, Coltan is probably in your device. So if you're watching this through your phone or your laptop, you probably have Coltan in it, possibly mined from the continent. A blessing. The question is, for all our electronics research students, graduates, professionals, how can we take Coltan and how can we start to manufacture capacitors, the same material that is used in phones? How can you make Coltan into capacitors on the continent? Because this Coltan is needed in all electronic devices, medical equipment, just for anything that deals with technology, because it's small and it is powerful. And we have it on the continent. So I'm really excited to discover this, even more excited to share it with you, just in case you haven't heard. There's always some conflict, and the people that suffer the most whenever there's conflict over the resources which God has put in their land is the people that suffer the most in the areas where those resources are found. So how can you make it into capacitors? And how can you mass produce capacitors on the continent? Because the electronics innovators that I am interviewing are telling me that one of the problems they have, and one of the things that stops them from progressing as fast as they can, is we don't have those components on the continent. So I hope this inspires you to do some investigation, and especially if you are an engineering student, professional, interested person. Again, reach down below, let us know if you have Colton, if you have access to Colton, if you're doing some research, if you have challenges, you've done some research and now the problem is how do you scale up? Let us know and see what we can do to connect people together. So thank you very much. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so, and we will continue to bring to you things that we can do with what we have on the continent. So take care till next time.